Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Kill him. Good, classic good cop. I mean, pretty hard cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Hold on, let's just calm down. Well, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're
The
sweating.
doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
You can do this my way, or I'll just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance. What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth can I dance? Dance with your mouse, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation
With
Sparkplug?
that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rillo. I think you went a little too hard on him. You say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? Just got set up for the festival. That tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about the source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Hey, Jace. Oh, hey, Luca. Have you seen this new issue of Hank Atomic? Not yet. No spoilers, please. It's awesome. It's a flashback. No spoilers, please. Good to see a mild-mannered Henry Adams becomes Hank Atomic, man of space justice. Jace, no spoilers. Oh, sorry. My point is, you're gonna love it. Alright, Jace, catch you later. Roger that, Space Cadet. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Oh, Kato hangs out here so much eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Mrs. Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you in Rillo. I can't put you any higher on the wave list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call the personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? It's the county record archives. What's in those? birth stats, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. They do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Grand's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
After eating any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of those asinine death records. Rollo Carter lived a full and wonderful life until he read so much born crow that his brain oozed out of his
Rollo
ears.
shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. It won't be born county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before...
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. A little tired here. Just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait. What was that name back? From the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 20 years ago. It can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. It's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name's Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. Your grand's 6 feet under, 3 towns over. Then who am I living
The
with?
question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
It's a little suspicious the door open like that. Oh. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a
Or
trace?
maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
Fridge jam delivery will be
He
delayed.
flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nungrid, hee hee. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. His only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Again, the door just being open like that. Just, oh. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool. Maybe talk to yourself less.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself.
Oh, just drugged.
Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The journal? Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Got into my weed jam. Rest now and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one, the 110 for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa, ho, ho. Sly devil. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? I looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor guys just got up on the podium. Everything's gathered at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. The town wouldn't be where it is without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. I mean, that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Ah, heck, I didn't prepare anything, but I suppose I could say a few words. I'd be ashamed to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's exonerable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
The second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. You see, to see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community, and Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. The conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are the horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am pickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was
The
that?
crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We've all planted a lot of good in this town, And so it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits. There it is.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
I mean, let's bounce over this one. See what happens with accept.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request.
Let's see.
With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Well, have a goodbye, Iggy. Okay, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. But of course, these fireworks at Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. You should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest liquamine is a peculiar substance. It changes the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. The useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks were strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
It'll take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has a role to play. Each role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn. We're going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder. Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
So how's that work? It's just like, nah, that's not good enough. We'll do a chill here, because I feel like it's not the right answer. We just got
They
Sly.
run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'm sure this will be funny. I'll handle this, just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tulliver. This is all a big mistake. Look, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rolo just got a little startled. Rolo's here?
Rolo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. Kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rolo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my grand up to? If you'll cut me loose, I can show you. How do you know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your grand moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah? So why would I turn my back on your family now? It just... all this stuff seems pretty weird. Or the names of people from town, an archive of my dad's old disturbing patient
Luca
notes.
gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? I can explain everything, you just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rolo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings.
That was a
Mr.
mistake.
Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This all makes sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
See, this town is secrets, Luca. Very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
Past that must be brought to...
He punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
light. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rolo confirmed what they all heard.
You just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. Kids, just keep tight down there. Let the adults
They
handle
looked
this.
bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board.
Okay, we know what's gonna happen. I don't want to beat it, and then one false choice left to do. It's gotta be
Nude
sly
on
about
the
it.
classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rolo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're the motorboat girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all this.
Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
Seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Crend. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you need some backup. But she sent a child? What bigger way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes
Mr.
sense.
Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. You never know who to trust in this
Mr.
town.
Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both here
Beck
to
twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If you were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down
Beck
here.
was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusts me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan while we were stocking the candy shelf. And once you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in the perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver has had a candy shelf. But all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
Password, Rillo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine, in the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it
Beck
seems.
marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. It's another word for underground. Buried, covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of these... Each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Nuncreed's Drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Bro, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Crend's Nude Rugstore. Yeah, I think we were right the first time. How did you do that? Well, what can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. You scared me half to death. Oh, sorry. Kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear, that man would be late to his own funeral. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Just got up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Now, what did we have to report? What is this Exhibit Town festival really about? I
Gus looked around nervously.
think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you can make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Carr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Garrett came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. It's just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They're dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future, or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you'll always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There's just a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. I'm looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. And where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have a arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes the small pleasures in life, but we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice will never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. Whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Now, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I've always wondered Master can keep why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Oh, he's right, it's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. You ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
It's not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why'd there be a blinky keypad? Crend's new Rugstore. I mean, Underground Secrets. the password.
Beck flung open the door, and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. I knew that was the secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth. Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Look, do you remember when I said how cool it would be the transdimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue number 12 for real? Rello, at one point or another, you said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. Looks like each of us has something written on them. Mining Operations Alpha. There's some mines here? Not that I know of. Sounds it's all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Always said you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about power, you don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest Main Office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? Sure. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube go into the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. This suit is a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? At least got their hazmat suit. It walks like an uncreed and talks like an uncreed. Let's not jump to conclusions, just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Seen aside, Earthlings, I've read enough of Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Willow's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Willow, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit. 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 Awesome. You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. They love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He found something he didn't quite understand. He was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. The thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick and villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous, almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to the sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I try to keep you safe. I try to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my
Luca
hand.
began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My Grant isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say she isn't the only underground layer we busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions. Big man.
Nuncreed
Big
grabbed
man.
Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger, boy. I don't know. She's got a map with the mark of the fountain in town square. The fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it catalyzes and, dear God, she's going to freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go as I expected, so we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera, as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carry her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Oh, so that's what that was. That was intense? Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got on any of us. Didn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Now, one way to find out, I suppose. I gotta catch up with Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Gotta be close to the end here. This looks familiar, yeah. We can clear out the snow? No time, Nuncreed's getting away. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. May not be the most well-versed in all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like sort of a frozen replica of town. Ah, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Rollo, stick with me here. Species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base cap dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through their metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me. You very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing. I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. No, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Crend, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over the torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your way of just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
Hum?
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
Kind of a good thing to do. Alright.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
What do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. That's the mother, right? Buckaroo. Only people who call me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face.
Wait, really didn't know it was his mother?
Snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, Buckaroo. Mom?
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother.
Knocking her into the pit.
They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone. Should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Oh, the goo. That makes you older. Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? You tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the dangers we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. They don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now was a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold hard
Luca
truth.
gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. I'll have to go back and do the wrong thing after this. She's just on the wrong one to begin with. You don't understand. He always wins.